The CBS 2 investigators have been tracking the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on black communities since the beginning of this pandemic.
And we continue to do that and found something alarming. Despite all of the efforts made to bring down the number of black deaths during the latest surge, it got worse. CBS 2 investigator Dorothy Tucker took that discovery to city and community leaders fighting hard for 2 years to bring about change.
The first week of April 2020, we lost 4 church members in 1 week.
I lost my father and my sister on the same day last year.
That was then, but even during this most recent COVID surge,
my dad passed away right before Christmas.
The number of deaths among black Chicagoans were spiking once again.
It's like, really? We're back there again?
Let's go back to the beginning of the pandemic. In April of 2020, deaths were soaring. Out of the 1,010 people who died in Chicago, 522, or 52%, were black. Black people are just 30% of the population.
What you like, meat and canned goods?
To combat COVID, the city formed a racial equity rapid response team to raise awareness of the virus and provide resources for testing and eventually vaccination.
I'm still alarmed because after 2 years of work, really engaging in the community, distributing masks and hand sanitizers daily, hosting pop-up events, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it's like, really? We're back there again?
The number of deaths overall are lower today than what they were at the start, but when you plot the deaths on the chart, the disparities are still crystal clear. The life-saving vaccines became widely available in mid-April of 2021. And between March and May, you see white deaths stayed relatively steady, 39 to 44. But black deaths more than doubled, from 50 to 104. And what about the recent surge? So far in January alone, more than 600 people have died. More than 315 were black, or 52%. It's the same disproportionate gap we saw in the pandemic's early days.
It breaks my heart.
Candace Moore is the city's chief equity officer. She heads up the rapid response team.
I think for everyone to see the surge again happen, you know, when we've made so much progress, both as a city and as a country, it's frustrating.
So what else do you need to do? What else can you do?
The challenge, I think, particularly when we're talking about the black community, is we still see lower vaccine rates, despite vaccines being really available.
That challenge is evident at New Mount Pilgrim Church.
Good morning.
During a recent vaccine clinic, at the peak of the Omicron surge in early January, empty chairs lined the hallway for hours.
I think that's fear. I think it's fear.
Fears that lead to vaccine hesitancy, and the data proves it. Only half of the black population in Chicago is fully vaccinated, less than any other group.
There are too many people dying. I mean, we can't get back to our normal.
Other obstacles, like recently running out of PPE in South Shore, don't help.
December of 2021, our street wellness team passed out all of the masks and hand sanitizers that were available to us, and we had to wait for the city to replenish their inventory so that we can replenish ours.
Even more roadblocks? Residents are reluctant to register ahead of time to get their shot.
We're talking about ways to eliminate that impediment, making the pre-registration process, making that part of a fun event.
As a black woman personally, it breaks my heart. Folks that I care a lot about saying, no thank you, I don't trust it.
What is the plan? Is there a plan going forward?
Yeah, there's definitely a plan. There's a plan being led by our Department of Public Health.
From Chicago's health department, it's more of the same. Resources for community groups and more vaccine events. Mayor Lightfoot is so concerned, she reached out to other city leaders, like the mayor of Newark, where the city is 72% fully vaccinated. Blacks and Hispanics make up nearly 90% of the population.
I said, man, I got to talk to you. What are you doing? And how can we use those same techniques here in Chicago?
Back on the ground, community leaders continue their efforts at the street level.
We're doing vaccination events, four or five vaccination events every week. And even if one person comes, that's a success.
One of those successes, a vaccine skeptic.
I was really adamant about not getting the shot.
Remember Tanya Vaughn, who lost her father in December to COVID?
I had a lot of family members that tested positive that didn't do so well with it.
She changed her mind during the latest Omicron surge.
And I was like, life is too short.
So she and her 3 children walked into that church vaccine clinic and got their shots.
I just said it wasn't worth losing my babies. Good job.
We've reached out to the mayor's office in Newark and learned their mayor holds live Facebook chats 3 times a week. They say it allows them to address misinformation, residents can ask questions, and the bottom line is that people feel more comfortable taking the shot. Dorothy Tucker, CBS 2 Investigators.
Thank you, Dorothy. Head over to CBSChicago.com for more on Dorothy's findings. We've posted interactive maps showing which communities are impacted most and a timeline of key moments in the pandemic. Just click on the To Investigators section.